Hello students, in this lecture we are going to take one more examples to draw the network and find out its critical path and total time to get the critical path. Now we have given the activity 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 2 to 4 and so on. So these are the activity and these are the weeks to complete this activity. Now first construct its network diagram. Now let's see. Now we have given first event, first activity which is from 1 to 2. Now construct its network diagram. Now first linkage this. So here this is the first event. Now 1 goes to 2, 1 goes to 2. So 1 goes to 2. Now 2 goes to 4, 2 goes to 4, 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 4. Next 4 goes to 9, 4 goes to 9. Next 9 goes to 10. Okay, so here 1 goes to 2 is done, 2 goes to 4. Next 4 goes to 9 and 9 goes to 10 is done. Next 1 goes to 3. Now 1 goes to 3, 3 goes to 4. So 3 goes to 4, 3 goes to 4. Next 4 goes to 9, 9 goes to 10. So this is also done. Now next 2 goes to 4. So 2 goes to 4. So this 3 activity is done. Next 3 goes to also 4. This is also done. Now next 3 goes to 5. So this 3 goes to 5. 3 goes to 5. 5 goes to 6. Now 5 goes to 6. 3 goes to 5. 5 goes to 6. 6 goes to 3 goes to 5, 5 goes to 6, 6 goes to 8, 6 goes to 8, 6 goes to 8. Next 8 goes to 10, 8 goes to 10 and 10 goes to 10 is the last event. Okay, so this is done. 1 to 1 3 is also done. 2 4 is done. 3 4 is done. 3 5 is done. 4 9. Now here 4 9 is done. 5 6 also done. 5 7. Now here 5 goes to 7, 7 goes to 8, 5 goes to 7. Suppose this is 5 goes to 7 and 7 goes to 8, 5 goes to 7, 7 goes to 8 and 8 goes to 10 and 10 is the last event and 9 goes to 10. So this completes the diagram. Okay, now we have given its time interval. So this is the rough diagram. Okay, so this is the rough diagram. So from this rough diagram we will draw its final diagram. So here from this diagram we get, so here we have drawn, this is final diagram. Here 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 4, 4 goes to 9, right? So here let's see, 1 goes to 2, right? 2 goes to 4, 4 goes to 9, 9 goes to 10, and also here 3 goes to 5, 5 goes to 7, 7 goes to 8, and 5 goes to 6, 6 goes to also 8, and 8 goes to 10. Okay, and these are the time interval. Now we have to find out its critical path. Now also we have to say that compute all the E's, V value and L value. Means what? We have to calculate E1, E2 up to so on E10 and also calculate EL1, EL2 up to so on L10 values. Okay, so we start from forward pass method. So first initially take E1 is equal to 0. Okay, now to calculate E2, so E2 has only one incoming arrow, so we get E1 plus T12, so we get value 4. Next calculate E3. E3 has only one incoming arrow, so which is from E1. So E1 plus T13. Okay, so which is equal to 1. Next calculate E4. So for E4 there are two incoming arrows, so which is from E2 and E3. So E2 plus T24, E3 plus T34. So from that we will calculate maximum between these. Okay, so in forward pass method, if there are two incoming arrows from other events, then we'll take maximum between these two. And in backward pass method, if there are two outgoing arrows, so for L5 there are two outgoing arrows, so we'll take its minimum. Okay, so here is minimum, so we'll use forward method maximum. Next, calculate E5. So for E5 there are only one incoming arrow, which is from E3, so we get E3 plus T35, so we get value 7. Next, for E6, so E6 having only one incoming arrow, which is from E5, so E5 plus T5 6. Now next, calculate E7. So E7 having only one incoming arrow, which is from E5, we get E5 plus T5 7, which is equal to 15. Now next, calculate E8. So for E8 we have for E8 there are two incoming arrow, which is from E6 and which is from 6th event and 7th event. So E6 plus T6 8, right? E6 plus T6 8, okay, and E7 plus T7 8. So we'll calculate maximum between these two, we get 17. Next, calculate E9. So E9 having only one incoming arrow, which is from 4th event. Okay, so E9 will be E4. So this is E4 plus T4 5, T4 9. So after calculate this, E4 has value 5 plus 5, which is 10. Next, calculate E10. Now for E10 there are two incoming arrow, which is from 9th and 8th event. Okay, so we'll take maximum between these two. So E9 plus T910 and E8 plus T810. So after calculating this, we'll take maximum between these two, which is 22. So E10 is 22. Now for backward pass method, we use E10 as L10, which is equal to 22. So from that, next calculate L9. So for L9 there is only one outgoing arrow, which is for 10th event. So we get the formula L10 minus T910. So L10 minus T910, which is after substituting, L10 has value 22 minus 7, which is 15. Next, calculate L8. So from L8 there is only one outgoing arrows, which is for 10th event. So we get formula L10 minus T810. So which is equal to L10 is 22 minus 5, which is 17. Next, calculate L7. So from L7 there is one outgoing arrows for 8th event. So we get formula L8 minus T78. L8 has value 17 minus 2, which is 15. Now next, calculate L6. So we write this number decreasing order, and we write this number increasing order. This is E1, E2, E3, A4 and E5 and so on. So L10, L9, L8, L7, L6. So for L6 there is only one outgoing arrows, which is for L8, which is for 8th event, right? So L8 minus T68. So we get L8 is 17 minus 1, which is 16. Now for L5, from L5 there are two outgoing arrows, which is for 6th and 7th event. So we take minimum between these two. So L6 minus T456 and L7 minus T57. So here after substituting the value, we get minimum between 12 and 7, which is 7. Now to calculate L4. So L4 there is only one outgoing arrows to the 9th event, right? So L9 minus T49. So L9 has value 15 minus 5, which is equal to, so 49 has value 5. So 15 minus 5, which is equal to 10. Next, calculate L3. Now for L3 event, we have total two outgoing arrows from L3, which is for 4th and 5th event. So we take minimum between these two. So L4 minus T34, L5 minus T35. So L4 minus T34, L5 minus T35. So minimum between these two, we get 1. We will get L3 is 1. Next, calculate L2. So from L2 there is one outgoing arrow, which is for 4th event. So we get the formula L4 minus T24. So L4 minus T24, which is equal to L4 is value of L4 is 10 minus 1, which is 1. So 10 minus 1, which is 9. Next calculate L1. So L1, which is only one outgoing error for third event. So L3 minus T13. So L3 has value 1 minus, sorry, here for we have to calculate. Here we have calculated EL2, right? Next calculate EL1. For L1 there are two outgoing errors, which is for second and third event. Now we calculate its minimum between these two. So calculate this. So L2 minus T12 and L3 minus T13. So L2 minus T12. After calculating this, so value of L2 is 9 minus 4, which is 5, right? So we take this is minimum of L2 is 5 minus 1 and L3 is, so value of L3 is 1 minus 1, so which is equal to minimum of 5 minus 1 is 4 and 0. Minimum between these two values is 0. So here we get L1 is 0 and E1 is also 0. So initial and end values are equal. Now we write this value, is value and is value of L backward pass method and forward pass method. So here first we have constructed the network. So this is network. Also we have computed values of E and L. So these are values of E and these are values of L. Okay. Now to find out its critical path. Now for find out critical path, first we will find out its total float. If value of total floats are 0, then that activities are the critical paths. Okay. So we write this forward pass method value in square and we write backward pass method value in triangle. So for each activity. So here this is the diagram for given diagram. Now so these are the value. So in triangle these are the value for backward pass method and in square values are from forward pass method. So this is value of E1. So this is value of E2. This is value of E3. This is value of E4. This is E5. This is E6, E7, E8, E9 and E10. And this is value of L1. This is L2, L3, L4, this is L5, this is L6, L7, L8, L9 and this is L10 values. Okay. Now to calculate, now prepare the table. Now here we have the activity from 1 goes to 2, 1 goes to 3, right? Now from figure we write activity 1, 2, 1, 3. Next 2 goes to 4, 3 goes to 4. Next here 2 goes to 4, here 2 goes to 4. Now 3 goes to 4, 3 goes to 5, 3, 4, 3, 5. Next 4 goes to 9. Okay. Next 5 goes to 6 and 7. 5 goes to 6, 7. Next 6 goes to 8 only. 7 goes to 8 only. 8 goes to 10 only and 9 goes to 10. So these are the activities and this is the time duration for each activity. Now write down its earliest value. So for EI, so this is ith event. So this is E1, E1, E2, E3, E3, E4, E5. This is E5, E6, E7, E8 and this is E9 because this is ith event. Now to calculate latest value. So for latest value we have the formula Lj minus Tij. So these are the values of Lj. So this is the jth event. So here this is value of L2, this is L3, L4, L4, this is L5, L9, L6, L7, this is L8, this is L8, this is L10, this is L10 and this is time interval between these two activities. So this is activity. So after calculating this 5, 0, 9, 9, 1, 10, 12, 7, 16, 15, 17, 15. Now to calculate earliest time. So earliest time has formula EI plus Tij. So this is the EI plus Tij. We add this 0 plus 4, 0 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 6 and so on. We get the earliest finish time. Now latest finish. we calculate, we have the formula Lj. So we have Lj, so this first value are the values of Lj, 9, 1, 10, 10, 10 7, like this, 9, 1, 10, 10, 7, 15, 16, 15, 17, 17. So this Lj means what? We calculate this Lj for this jth event, okay, and last calculates its total float. Total float having formula TLS minus EI. So what is TLS? So latest start time. So TLS, so we subtract EI from TLS. So 5 minus 0, 5, 0 minus 0 is 0, 9 minus 5, 9 minus 4, which is 5, 9 minus 1 is 8, 1 minus 1 is 0, 10 minus 5 is 5, 12 minus 7 is 5, 7 minus 7 is 0, 16 minus 11 is 5, 15 minus 15 is 0, 17 minus 17 is 0, and last 15 minus 10, which is 5. Now we collect all the activities whose total floats are 0 are the critical activities. So let's see, here the 0 activity, which is 0 float, which is of 1 to 3 activity. So hence activity 1 to 3. Next here 0 activity, which is for 3 5. Next 0 activity is for 5 7, right? Here is 5 7. Next 0 activity is for 7 8, okay, and last here 0 activity for 8 10. So these are the activity having 0 floats are the critical activity. So combining this, we get 1 3 3 5, 1 3 5, 7 7 goes to 8, 8 goes to 10 is the critical path. So total weeks for the critical path 1 to 3 having time duration is 1, plus 3 to 5 having time duration is 6, plus 5 to 7 having 8, plus 7 to 8 having 2, plus 8 to 10 having time 5. So adding this, we get total 22 weeks for the critical path. So this is the solution of given problem. See the next point, which is PERT. So what is mean by PERT? So PERT is program evaluation and review technique. Now PERT is differ from CPM in that it bases the duration of an activity on 3 estimates. Now first estimate is optimistic time estimate, denoted by T0 or small a. It is the duration of any activity when everything goes on well during the project. That is, for example, labors are available and come in time, machines are working in properly, and money is available whenever needed. There is no scarcity of raw material needed, and so on. So these are the examples of optimistic time estimate. That is, duration of any activity when everything goes on well during that project, called the optimistic time estimate. Now second type is pessimistic time estimate. So its notation is TP or B. It is duration of activity when almost everything goes away our will and lot of difficulties are faced while doing a perfect. So that's called pessimistic time estimate. Means there is some problem during work, so called pessimistic time interval, pessimistic time estimate. Now last estimate is most likely estimate, denoted by TM or M. It is the duration of an activity when something goes wrong while during the project. These are three types time value are shown in the figure. So let's see the figure. Now in this figure, so this graph shows that first line is the optimistic time estimate, second one is most likely time estimate, and last one line is the pessimistic time estimate. Now two main assumptions made in PERT calculations. First assumption is the activity duration are independent, that is, time required to complete any activity will have no bearing on completion of time of any other activity of project. And second one is the activity duration follows beta distribution, and beta distribution is the probability distribution with the density function, which is k times t minus a raised to alpha into b minus t raised to beta with mean. So mean TE is equal to 1 upon 3 times twice Tm plus 1 upon 2 times T naught plus Tp, and standard deviation is calculated by using formula sigma 1 is equal to Tp minus T naught upon 6. So we calculate standard deviation by using formula pessimistic time into time estimate minus optimistic time estimate upon 6. Now let's see how to solve examples from PERTs. Now PERT procedure is, so first step 1 is draw a network. Second one is compute expected duration for each activity. So calculate T for each activity. So T has formula T naught plus 4 times Tm plus Tp. Next, third step is compute expected variance sigma square for each activity. So this is sigma, which is Tp minus T naught upon 6. Now calculate sigma square of each activity using this formula. Next is compute earliest start, earliest finish, and latest start, latest finish, and total float of each activity. Next, fifth step is determine critical path and identify critical activity. And sixth step is compute expected variance of the project length, also called the variance of critical path, which is delta C square, which is the sum of the variance of all the critical activities. And last step is compute expected standard deviation of project length delta C, and calculate standard normal deviation Z, which is Ts minus Te upon delta C, where Ts is specified or scheduled time to complete the given project. Te is the normal expected duration or duration of project, and delta C, sigma C is expected standard deviation project length. Now this is the procedure to calculate solve the problem by using PERT procedure. Now we will see the example for PERT procedure. Now let's see the example. Consider network diagram given below for each activity. So the 3 time estimate. So this is T naught is optimistic time estimate, Tp is pessimistic time estimate, and Tm is most likely estimate. So T naught, Tp, Tm are given below along the arrow in the order T naught, Tm, Tp. So here, so for each activity we have given for 10 to 20 activities. So this is T naught, Tm, Tp. So this is T naught, Tm, Tp. This is T naught, Tm, Tp, T naught, Tm, Tp, and so on. So we have given all the values in the figure, which is in the order T naught, Tm, Tp order. So determine variance and expected time for each activity. Now let's calculate expected time for each activity and variance. Now see the solution. Now let's see the solution of given problem. So this is our network diagram. For each activity we have given its T naught, Tp, T naught, T0, Tm, and Tp values. So here these are the activities. So this is ith event and this is jth event. So call this is predecessor event and call this as successor event. Now from 10 goes to 20, 10 goes to 50. Okay, so here 10, 20, 20, 50. Next 20 goes to 30, 20 goes to 30, 20 goes to 40. Next 30 goes to 70, 30 goes to 70. Next 40 goes to, so in this figure 40 goes to 70, 60 and 70. 40 goes to 60, 70. And last here 50 goes to 60, 50 goes to 60, and last 60 goes to 70. Now for each activity we write T naught, Tm, Tp values. Now here 10 to 20, so this is T naught, Tm, Tp, so 6, 9, 10. Next 10 to 50, so here 10 to 50, 4, 7, 8. Okay, 20 to 30 we have 14, 17, 20, 14, 17, 20, and similarly we write each value of T naught, Tm, Tp for each activity. Now calculate its variance. So variance is calculated by using formula sigma square is equal to Tp minus T naught upon 6 bracket square. Okay, so here Tp, so value of Tp is 12, and so we calculate this value for each activity 1 to 10 to 20, 10 to 50, and so on. So here 12 minus 6 upon 6, which is 6 upon 6 is 1. 1 square is again 1. Next 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4, which is 4. 4 upon 6 bracket square. After calculating it, we get 0.44. Next 20 minus 14, which is 6. 6 upon 6 is 1. 1 square is again 1. Next 13 minus 7, which is 6. And 6 minus 6 upon 6, which is 1 raised to 2, again 1. Next 9 minus 3, which is 6, and 6 upon 6 is 1. 1 raised to 2 power 2, again 1. Next 25 minus 13. So 25 minus 13 is 12, and 12 upon 6, which is 2. 2 square is 4. Next 16 minus 10. 16 minus 10 is 6. 6 upon 6 is 1. 1 square is 1. Next 18 minus 12. 18 minus 12 is 6. And 6 upon 6 bracket square. 6 upon 6 is 1. 1 square is 1. Next 12 minus 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 upon 6. 3 upon 6 is 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 bracket square. After calculating it, we get 0.24. And last 25 minus 17. So 25 minus 17, which is 8. 8 upon 6. So 8 upon 6 bracket square. After calculating it, we get 1.78. So this is variance of each activity. Now to calculate expected time for each activity, having formula T0 plus 4 times Tm plus Tp. So these are T0 plus Tm plus Tp. T0, Tm, Tp values for each activity, right? So substitute this value for each activity and calculate. So T0, which is 6 plus 4 into 9 plus 12 upon 6. So after calculating, we get 9. Next 4 plus 4 into 7 plus 8 upon 6, we get 6.7. Next 14 plus 4 into 17 plus 20 upon 6, we get 17, and so on. So after calculating this, so these are the expected time for each activity. So this is the variance and this is the expected time for each activity. So this is the solution. Now, so in problem we have asked to find out variance of each activity and expected time for each activity. So these are the expected time for each activity, 10 to 20, 20 to 50 and so on, and this is the variance for each activity. Now last is see the difference between CPM and PERT. So what is difference between CPM and PERT? First, CPM. Now CPM is an activity oriented, that is in CPM network more emphasis is an activity, and in PERT, so what is PERT? PERT is an event oriented, that is in PERT network more emphasis is an event. Second, CPM is deterministic model and PERT is probabilistic model. So we use probability in PERT. CPM places dual emphasis on a project time as well as cost and funds trade off between project cost and project time. While in PERT is primarily concerned with time only. It helps to schedule and coordinate various activities so that project will be completed in scheduled time. And last is CPM is used for projects which are relative in nature and comparatively small in size. And here fourth is last, it is used for large one-time research and development time of the project. So this is the difference between CPM and PERT. Okay, we will stop here. Thank you.